The 2021 Mutua Madrid Open has arrived, and nearly all of the top women are here to battle for the first WTA 1000 trophy this season. I'll cover the draw, go over all the potential matchups, and predict who I think will raise the trophy here on Grand Slam Tennis News Today. World number 1 Ash Barty will open against Shelby Rogers, and in the second round she may face Su Wei Shea. She also may face Iga Świątek in the third round, followed by Kiki Bertens in the quarters. Ash could once again meet Svitolina in the Final Four stage, and then Osaka in the championship. Looking at Ash's section first, dissecting the Barty's-Rogers clash, Shelby challenged her greatly in Charleston and nearly won the round of 16 match. Barty wasn't at her best there though, and I do think that she'll have an easier time here, although Rogers could still pose a threat. Barty is my pick to come through, and her first big challenge, I think, comes in the third round where she may play Iga Świątek. Zidansek might be tricky too, as the Slovakian has confidence herself, reaching the finals in Bogota, plus qualifying for this event, already beating Shea in qualies. I don't really see too many threats standing in Świątek's way, by the way. Risk is poor on clay, and Laura Siegemund, although excels on the surface, doesn't have the same skills as the pole. Should Barty and Świątek play, it'd be their first ever meeting, and I'm actually choosing Iga to win that hypothetical matchup. I think Barty might still be a bit tired, as she has done a lot of traveling and playing over the past few weeks. Iga hasn't played since Miami, and she had a really good training block to further build her game, and also she recharged a bit. It definitely would be a match to watch, but there is plenty of tennis to be played before that happens. Moving down, Petra Kvitová could potentially square off against fellow Slam champ Angie Kerber in the second round, but the German has to get by 2019 Roland Garros finalist Marketa Vondrousova first. Vondrousova is actually the favorite over Kerber due to her higher level of comfort on clay. Kerber's game has been up and down lately, but I do see her giving Marketa a good test. However, I am going to side with the odd makers and have Vondrousova advancing. Marketa, I think, could test the 9th seed Kvitová if they do play in the second round. I will still have Petra advance to the third round though to meet Veronika Kudermetova. Defending champion Kiki Bertens is there at the bottom, but she doesn't have many match reps, just playing 4 matches in total in 2021. Meanwhile, Kudermetova is coming off a title in Charleston and a semifinal appearance in Istanbul. Kvitová and Świątek is my quarterfinal pick, and I have Iga advancing to the semis. 4th seed Elina Svitolina opens against Swiss woman Jill Teichmann, and then might play Barbara Krejcikova in the second round. Konta is the 1st seed she faced, followed by 8th Bencic. Of course, in the semis and finals, there's Barty and Osaka respectively. I think Svitolina's section is relatively kind. Jill Teichmann has been playing well this year, but hasn't played on clay thus far due to injury. Both Krejcikova and Paula Badosa have also been playing great tennis lately and excel on clay, so that could be a really tricky second round match for the Ukrainian. Svitolina's seed Konta though is good for her, as the Brit has no confidence or momentum at all, not winning consecutive matches since last year's Cincy Open. I think Elina will instead play Yulia Putintseva in that third round and have the former advancing. Now moving down, we have a firecracker of a first round matchup between Garbine Muguruza and Sloane Stephens. This would be their third match on clay overall, Sloane winning their first one at Roland Garros in 2019. Garbine, however, got her revenge in Rome of last year, also winning in straights. Muguruza will be the favorite here, but she has never played well in Madrid, holding a 5-7 record. I think that Garbine will go over the hump of playing in front of her home crowd this year, but Sloane won't be an easy ask, as she's starting to round into form. I do have Muguruza taking out Bencic, who has been shaky as of late, and the Swiss woman could also have a tough one on her hands against Mladenovic in the first round. I have Garbine advancing through this section to make the semis because her record against Svitolina too is very good. Two-time champ Simona Halep will first play Sarah Sorribes-Tormo, and in the second round possibly Magna Linette. Elise Mertens is the 1st seed she could face, followed by Sabalenka. In the semifinals there's Naomi, and in the finals Barty. At the top of Halep's section is Sabalenka, who has a decent draw. Kasatkina I think is her biggest threat ahead of the third round, but I think that the Belarusian will do fine. Another Belarusian, Victoria Azarenka, could be Sabalenka's third round opponent, but Vika has a tricky opening round match against hard-hitting Russian Alexandrova. I think that Vika though will advance and ultimately play Sabalenka, but I have Aryna getting the better of this potential matchup as she has more momentum on the red dirt, just reaching the Stuttgart finals. I think that Sabalenka will meet Simona Halep in the quarters for a rematch of their Stuttgart match. The Romanian I think has a good draw. Sereva's Torma might be tricky though, as she's a big grinder and tends to play well in Madrid. Lynette and Zhang I don't see doing much, and 13C Mertens hardly challenges Simona. I do think that Simona will get revenge over Aryna, because Halep tends to not let too many players beat her multiple times in a row. Lastly, Naomi Osaka will open against countrywoman Mosaki Doi, and in the second round possibly play Karolina Muguruza. Maria Sakkari is a potential third rounder, followed by Karolina Pliskova in the quarters. Naomi may play Halep in the semis and then Barty in the finals. Of course, the final section is Osaka's, and at the top, we see Pliskova and Gauff meeting in the first round. Pliskova hasn't been playing her best for most of the year, but had a positive performance in Stuttgart last week, nearly beating eventual champion Barty in the quarters. I think she'll beat Coco and then another American, Madison Keys, in the next round. Keys for sure has the game to beat Karolina, but she hasn't shown consistency since returning to the tour this year. The next part of the draw has 3 slam champs, with a matchup between Kuznetsova and Ostapenko in the first round. Svetlana excels on clay, and this match should definitely be good, but I'm going to go with the 2017 Roland Garros champ Elina, as her play in Stuttgart was solid. Next we have a battle of the Americans, Venus Williams and Jen Brady. I'm going to go with Brady to win this match because Venus's health is still a factor, with her knee and ankle potentially being issues. Also, clay isn't her best surface by any stretch. Brady, however, has been struggling with confidence since reaching the Aussie Open finals, so I think Venus could possibly take this one if she plays well. Regardless, I picked Pliskova to advance to the quarters. Sakkari and Anisimova is another good matchup, and I have the Greek women advancing to the second round, where she'll likely face Anett Kontaveit. I do believe Anett will defeat Sakkari should they play, as she seems to be trending in the right direction, especially after her Stuttgart quarters appearance. Osaka is next to look at, and I think the Japanese woman has a good draw. Muguruza is a possible second round opponent, but the Czech woman doesn't really like playing on clay. Sakkari could potentially be a challenge, especially seeing as Maria just knocked her out of Miami. However, Naomi's record against Kvitová is one-sided, and I believe if those two play, Osaka will have the advantage. My pick for the quarters is Osaka Pliskova, and I have the latter coming through. I feel like Karolina is trending in the right direction, as once again, her Stuttgart performance I think will give her that necessary confidence boost. I also think that Pliskova is more comfortable on clay than Naomi overall. For my final picks, I have Iga Świątek and Karolina Pliskova, with Iga winning the title. Iga honestly has a tough draw, likely playing Barty in just the third round, but for some reason I just have a feeling that she'll do well here in Madrid. I think that the break she took after Miami will do her good, and I think that she's fully motivated to get back to her winning ways. As far as having Pliskova reach this stage, I kind of already explained it, but her reaching the finals is also based on feeling, and the fact that she probably won't have to face Jessica Pegula. Halep and Muguruza, my other semifinal picks, could also be here, but for now I'm picking the Pole and the Czech woman. The tournament starts Thursday, April 28th, 5 AM Eastern Time, where Kerber, Świątek, Svitolina, Barty, and Sloane Muguruza will all be in action. That's all for this tournament preview, and let me know what you think about the draw and my predictions in the comment section below. Feel free to give your own predictions as well. Also, make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell so you're notified whenever you post new content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time here on Grand Slam Tennis News Today.